I'm Aaron Gold for Auto by Tel, and today we are driving the 2014 Audi A8L, the L standing for long, which is the extended length version of the Audi A8. Let's just start making our way to the front of this car. Could take a while. It's a very big car. Now, as you've probably noticed, there is something special about this particular A8. You probably have noticed what sets it apart. It has the 20-inch wheel package. I know. We used that joke on the A7 TDI review, but it's still funny. Anyway, this is one of several diesel-powered Audis that they have released for 2014, and we're going to talk about the advantages of diesel-powered. God, that took a long time. I am bushed. Under the hood, we will find a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel. Now, should we repeat the joke from the A7 TDI review where I take the cover off and pretend to be scared at all the piping? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Don't shoot my butt this time, all right? Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, that's very, very frightening, all that piping and stuff. You didn't shoot my butt, did you? Anyway, so this is a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel, 240 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. In fact, this is the same engine used in other Audi diesels, the Q5, the Q7, the A6, and the A7. What, you say? How can that be? How can you use the same engine in this great big car? Well, that is one of the wonderful things about diesels. They just shrug off weight, so this 3-liter V6 is just as happy pulling around this 4,600-pound A8 as it is a smaller A6 or A7. Now, generally, I really like Audi interiors. They usually have genuine leather, genuine wood, and a real nice kind of meeting in the middle between luxury and functionality. Truth be told, A8, not really my favorite Audi interior. First of all, you have this ratchet-style shifter, which is difficult to use. All the controls are crammed up onto this little panel. You have a very small dial controller, which runs your infotainment and navigation system. You do have this little touchpad where you can trace letters instead of dialing them in, which I have found, I thought was kind of silly, but actually does save some time. And of course, you have this pop-up screen, which gives you real-time Google images thanks to a 3G internet connection, which is very cool, especially if you do a Dukes of Hazzard and jump over a bridge that's abandoned because you got to get away from Roscoe P. Coltrane, and you can navigate from the air. How cool is that? Now, one of the things I really like is these optional seats because they will give you a massage, unless you are British, in which case they will give you a massage. Very nice, but the truth is the really nice accommodations are in the back. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is the extended wheelbase edition, and I mean, look at this. Now, I'm the kind of guy they usually hire to model the back seats because I'm really short and I make it look even bigger than it is, but I mean, this is pretty fantastic. Plus, with all this space, you get these electric sunshades. Look at this, you get this gigantically impressive center console where you can control your temperature. You even get your own sunroof. Look at that. You can see the sky. I mean, this is why you buy an A8L, so you can kind of sit back and relax while Jeeves drives you where you need to go. So we have this ridiculously large car with a ridiculously roomy back seat. You would expect a ridiculously large trunk, right? Audience survey says, look at this, just 13.2 cubic feet and no fold-down back seat. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to take your A8L on vacation, you might want to install a trailer hitch. Now, I am very particular about the way my luxury cars drive. The A8 is available in a sporty version called the S8, and truth be told, I don't really like it. I don't think the stiffer suspension and the kind of racy demeanor really fit in with this car's personality. But the diesel engine is really a perfect match. Now, on paper, this is the slowest of the A8s, 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds, which is about nearly a second slower than the A8L with the 3-liter supercharged gasoline engine. But you have this nice, smooth, even flow of power, and actually a pretty cool engine note. It's a little noisier than the gasoline engine, but the noise levels are perfectly acceptable for a luxury car. I really like it. Goes with this car's smooth demeanor, and of course you get this air suspension and this extra long wheelbase, so it really does ride quite beautifully. Now, the real advantage to the diesel is fuel economy. EPA estimates for the A8 TDI are 24 miles per gallon city and 36 miles per gallon on the highway. That is 6 and 8 miles per gallon, respectively, better than the gasoline-powered A8L. We're getting 28 miles per gallon here in our test car, and that is really pretty incredible. Now, in most diesel cars, you have to offset the higher cost of diesel fuel against the higher fuel economy. But since all gasoline-powered Audis run on premium fuel, the savings really add up pretty quick. In fact, here in California, it is cheaper to fill up an Audi with diesel than it is to fill it up with premium fuel. All in all, I think this engine is a really nice fit. Great gas mileage, lots of power. I like it. Now, you might have noticed that I'm wearing different clothing in this shot, okay? This is part of a new experimental policy we are trying at Auto by Tel, and that is before we discuss the pricing of the car, we're going to do a wardrobe change, and we're not going to actually appear in front of the vehicle about which we are talking, okay? Any stories you may hear that I simply forgot to talk about pricing during the original shot when we actually had the car, those are rumors, they're vicious, and you should not believe them. Sorry for pointing. Anyway, pricing for the A8L TDI starts at just under $83,500. And with all the options, you can go up to just under $120,000. Now that's about a $3,700 price premium over the gasoline-powered A8L. Are you going to make up that cost in fuel savings over the length of a 2 to 3 year lease? Hard to tell, probably not, but it is nice to have significantly lower fuel bills. And with diesel, you're more isolated against spikes in prices. And there really are no direct competitors because currently Mercedes does not make a diesel version of the S-Class and BMW does not make a diesel version of the 7 Series. So the A8 TDI really is in a class by itself. I'm going to go change my clothes again. Something you might have noticed about this review, besides the gratuitous butt shot and all these silly visual jokes about how ridiculously long this car is, and that is a slight attitude of, I don't know, perhaps distaste or disdain for the Audi A8. Well, I have to be honest with you, this is not my favorite Audi. I do think it's very wonderful, it's big, it's comfortable, and it is an excellent value compared to other full-size luxury cars, but it's not the Audi that I would buy. I would go for the A7, which is about the same price, or the A6, which is significantly less expensive. Those are cars that are made for people who drive themselves. They're smaller, they're quite a bit tidier, they're actually slightly more fuel efficient, and they're just built around the driver. Now, if you are the type who can afford a driver and just to sit in the back seat and lounge around everywhere you go, should you get the diesel engine? I don't know, my first thought is, you know what, if you can afford all that, you might as well get the 500 horsepower W12 engine and just suck down your supply of oil as quickly as you can. On the other hand, if you drive an A8L because you take people to the airport for a living, then you are definitely going to want the diesel engine because it will make a really serious difference in your bottom line. I'm Aaron Gold, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.